Now let's cross up to Brisbane and catch up with the former Lord Mayor of Brisvegas, former Premier of Queensland, now Sky News commentator, among other things, Campbell Newman. Good to talk to you, Campbell. Is this your chance to say something nice about Annastacia Palaszczuk and congratulate her on winning the games?
Well, look, I want to say, Chris, firstly, that I'm incredibly proud that Brisbane's got the honour of holding the games and that Queensland gets to be the host state like that. It's tremendous. Yes, congratulations to the Premier, but congratulations to the former Lord Mayor Graham Quirk, the mayors of South East Queensland, the current Lord Mayor Adrian Schrinner, who are actually the ones who really got this going. Annastacia Palaszczuk came late to the party. Well, to her credit, she came to the party eventually, and so did the Prime Minister, and so we've won this great event. So very proud, but there are other things we can talk about as well in relation to these games.
Yeah, well, look, it's fantastic for the country. It's going to be great for Queensland, of course, but great for the whole country. And there's a lot to talk about, a lot to get ready. One point I want to put to you, though, is that Annastacia Palaszczuk says they're going to be revenue neutral. You're basically going to get them for free. I mean, that sounds just a little bit ludicrous.
Well, Chris, I'm not going to waste time on your program by actually spelling out the word baloney, because it is a load of baloney. It isn't cost neutral. There's going to be 5 billion big ones at least in this. They're talking about $1 billion upgrade of the Gabba. I'm just so pleased that the Prime Minister insisted that there be a joint sort of management committee or authority to run this whole show, because I can tell you now, with the track record of this state government, that $1 billion upgrade of the Gabba will turn into 1.5, 1.6 billion, particularly because they've allowed the unions in the construction sector to get right out of control. So it doesn't come without cost, but there's going to be many good benefits as well in terms of infrastructure in the transport and traffic area. I think that's going to really bring the city forward.
Yeah, let's talk about some of that, because we spoke earlier in the program to John Bertrand. He told us how this would really inspire and deliver great outcomes for young Australian sports people in the 10 years or so leading up to the games. But what about that infrastructure that's going to be built on the back of this decision? Not just the Gabba, but importantly, transport infrastructure that's going to support everybody in South East Queensland forever.
Well, like all Australia's major capital cities, we've seen the growing pains by the high immigration rates over the last 20 years. When I was mayor, we got to work building some very important tunnels and bridge infrastructure and public transport infrastructure, but so much more is going to be needed for the games. We've got to get the connectivity basically north to the Sunshine Coast right with public transport, and indeed some road bottlenecks sorted out, and to the south to the Gold Coast, fixing up completing the light rail, and because we're going to be moving vast numbers of people around the region to the various venues. We're going to need probably, more hotel rooms, I would say, without any doubt. So there's lots of great infrastructure projects that will need to be delivered, and in a cost-effective way. So I hope they're prepared, and there have been a bit bad odour in recent years. I hope they'll go back and have a look carefully at public-private partnerships as well to leverage public sector dollars further.
Because when it comes to the actual sporting facilities, given you've had Commonwealth Games there twice in recent memory, you're pretty well catered for when it comes to those facilities, apart from the Gabba?
No, I'm sensing a bit of double talk there, Chris. Frankly, I think there's quite a bit of upgrade work that's required.
Yep.
And various sites to actually increase capacity, handling crowds and the like. And so again, that's part of the bill which they say, oh yes, it's all cost neutral. It's not. It's got to be paid for. Look, don't get me wrong. I do really sincerely support these games. What I don't support is the poor and reckless financial management of the Palaszczuk government, who just do these things without a real plan.
Well, yeah, we've got to watch it carefully. As you say, one of the great aspects is you've got that federal involvement as well, so hopefully they can keep each other honest. The other point is that we just got to hope they open the border to New South Wales before the games.
Well, Chris, this is one thing that I have to say this evening. There are struggling tourism and hospitality businesses, small businesses across this state now, who I hope they're taking some heart from this, but it also could be a bit of a bitter pill, because they need They need extreme levels of support now because of the way that Annastacia Palaszczuk and the Chief Health Officer keep shutting things down, shutting the border, overreacting. And they are being crushed right now. And they're thinking, I've got to get to next month. Forget 11 years' time. I've got a problem right now. And this Labor government don't care two hoots about them, and they're really not providing the level of support that those SMEs need.
Yep, there's a big problem to get over first before we get to those games in 2032. Thanks for joining us, Campbell.
Thanks, Chris.